Girls, has a guy failed to notice your obvious hints? If so, what's your story? When I first met my husband, he rode a Triumph. Motorcycles were always, and still are, a huge part of his life. So, very obviously dripping with double entendre and all, but waggling my eyebrows lasciviously, I go, so, when are you gonna take me for a ride on that beast of yours? And he told me, dead serious, that he doesn't take passengers on his bikes, because he doesn't want the responsibility, and even removed the passenger pegs. I think I detached my retinas rolling my eyes that hard. The first time we slept together, I was staying the night, and like a gentleman, and I really do appreciate this, that he didn't assume. He offered to put me up on the couch, showed me where the bathroom was, etc. So I go, maybe I can just sleep with you. That one he managed to snag as it was sailing by. Maybe I can just sleep with you? If that doesn't activate a man's GPS to Pound Town, nothing will. I actually had that happen, and it was because the couch was in the common room. It just didn't seem appropriate to have her sleep there, so I offered her a spot in my king-size bed. There's more than enough space for both. I did not understand she had been planning this all along until we got in bed and kissed me, and I was completely dumbstruck. I couldn't recover from it and let her know it wasn't that I wasn't attracted to her, just that I really thought she just needed a place to crash and thought it was inappropriate to impose my lustful desires at the time. But I'm just impervious to innuendos and hints. Woman I was dating made it clear she wasn't ready for X, and I was happy to take it slow. She came over for the first time, and the plan was for her to sleep on the sofa. When it came time to sleep, she said she was sleeping on the sofa. I mentioned my king-size bed had plenty of room. She seemed worried and wanted confirmation we'd just be sleeping in there. Once upstairs and in the room, she jumped me, and I was surprised about the entire thing. I didn't think she was ready. I feel like she may have thought she wasn't ready, but when you were so accepting and reassuring that you weren't pressuring her into it, she may have felt comfortable enough with you that she felt ready all of a sudden. I asked a crush if he wanted to go on a date with me. He said yes. He thought he was hanging out with a friend. Had to tell him right then and there that I had a crush on him. Bro, I'm even stupider. Once a girl told me she had a huge crush on me. I am a guy. Blushed super hard and turned around super stiffly to walk away. I then go, wait. And she turns around looking super excited, and I go, what's wrong with you? Why withhold anyone like me? I had a huge crush on her for 3 years. I think I drank too much dumb frick juice. Jesus Christ, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, the very greatest F of all time to this man. And then, when you said crush and dates, I thought you meant the food. To this day, my husband is so bad at picking up when he's being flirted with that I say thank goodness we met on a dating app, or he'd never have known I was interested. He's a very good looking guy, and he gets flirted with all the time, but he just never notices. I've shared this before, but it fits so I'll go into it again. I was visiting from out of town for a friend's birthday. Birthday boy was my best friend's boyfriend. He was an engineering student, so the night was going to be mostly dudes and we were all going out clubbing. We met up with the group at birthday boy's residence on campus. Immediately I take a liking to this one guy's sense of humor. I'm lightly flirting, but he's missing every hint. We get to the club. I'm getting drunk. I'm repeatedly dancing very close to this guy and he's just not taking the hint at all. Behind me I notice that the birthday boy is trying to signal what to do to my guy, physically exaggerating what to do with his own girlfriend as a prop. Eventually everyone gets tired and sits down for a break. I literally sit on this guy's lap and he just looks around blankly. Again the birthday boy gestures at my clueless Mark, who places his hands on my waist. The night continues. I'll only sit in his lap and I'm dragging him around all night, but he won't touch anywhere but my waist. His friends keep trying to encourage him, but he's not really responding. Eventually everyone decides to end the night with some late night macas. We finish our food and he finally takes some initiative and pulls me away to a shadowy corner. He's trying to get up the courage to kiss me goodnight when all the guys come around the corner and insist it's time to leave. I get a lingering hug before I'm ushered into a cab back to my hotel. The next morning I went to campus to say goodbye to everyone and he was nowhere to be found. I was disappointed, but I figure we live hours apart so it's probably for the best. A couple of days later someone is uploading pics to Facebook and tagging people, so I add him as a friend. We talk all night, then the next night, and the next night. A few weeks later he comes to visit for the weekend with the guy whose birthday it was. We fell pretty quickly into a relationship after that. It turned out he had never been kissed and was just super nervous the whole night. In order to get that first kiss I eventually had to make a bet with him about something super predictable in the movie we were watching. 9 years later and we've outlasted the friendships that brought us together. He's amazing and I love him more every year. It took him 7 years to propose, and shortly after we were engaged I got super sick. He's taken care of me through anything and everything that comes at us, including me losing the ability to walk. He was so nurturing when I was learning again that it took 4 different specialists to get him to let me try things for myself. Getting married is no longer important to us, but he's the center of my world and keeps me going even when everything seems hopeless. I love him so much. First off, so wholesome. Second of all, this dude is legit me. Whenever I say I've never had my first kiss, girls are always shocked. I'm just super freaking shy, so I miss hints all the time and it drives me crazy, because all my friends are like, bro, you could pull pretty much anyone, you're just dumb as hell. It comforts me to know that us shy guys will finally get our chance. Met him in a Dungeons and Dragons club in high school. Did some flirting, but didn't respond. Had a few other chances to hang. About a year later, under very funny circumstances, long story, we went out on a date. After going to a park we go down to his parents' basement to watch a movie, and that's when I saw he had every one of my favorite movies and TV shows taped. VHS off the TV, we are old. I knew he was a keeper. Dropped more flirts. He was completely polite and charming. I can't remember the circumstances exactly, but at some point he gave me a massage. A completely polite, non-axial massage. I tried changing position, asking him to move his hands. Anything to get him to understand I didn't want a polite massage from him. It might have worked, except I didn't know at the time that he had magic hands. Folks, I screwed it up. I fell asleep. He woke me up just in time to get me home on time. I may have screwed it up, but eventually it worked. He said he got the hints, but didn't believe I was after him. We are about to celebrate our 28th anniversary. This happens way more often than people think. You just wait how likely it is for her to like you versus how embarrassing it would be to take a non-existent hint and decide to play dumb. I'll preface this with I'm a guy, but it's not really that I don't even pick up on hints or have no idea that they're flirting. My brain realizes that it's flirting, but then it's like that would really embarrassing if she was just being nice and wasn't actually interested, so I never do anything. Precisely. I'm not oblivious. I just insecure and cynical. We've been married for 10 years, with 1 kid and another on the way, but I'm not getting my hopes up. She's probably just being nice. She might be Canadian. You just can't know for sure. Last year around Christmas time I passed a billboard for Aladdin the musical playing in our city. I knew my wife would love that show, so really excitedly I asked her if I should get tickets for us to go. Apparently she'd been hinting at it for weeks. I'm still not sure I believe her. Maybe she had the billboard put up in a last-ditch effort. Flirt level. Legendary. He's at my place sitting on the couch. I sit on his lap facing him. He asks me if I want to watch something. I say I kinda like my view now, winking face. He goes, you won't be able to see the TV? He's my boyfriend now. As a dude I've read some of these and thought I guess I can see how he missed that. Why he wouldn't want to misinterpret that situation. But this one is just so obvious. I'm glad it worked out in the end. We were watching The Invisible Man, because he knew I was excited to watch it. We were in his bed, not dating at this point, but I knew he liked me. He was too much of a gentleman to make a physical move, so while cuddling, I turned to him and said, you can touch my butt if you want. Happily together during the quarantine. Gasp, he touched the butt. Or, that's so blunt it's kinda cute. How long ago was this? 2 days before the president shut down the country. We started dating right as quarantine began. Funny enough, I had the opposite story. I met a really cute guy in acting class. He stayed after to chat with me and seemed really into me. I had no confidence back then, and he was incredibly attractive, literally models for romance novels. I ran into him in the street sometime later and he was so excited to see me. I was in my PJs and washed, picking up a pizza to eat entirely by myself. He said I should come over and he'd cook for me sometime. I assumed he meant as a group with some friends, even though he didn't mention friends, and I kinda awkwardly made some excuse to leave because I felt so gross and just wanted to go home. Much later I realized he'd been hitting on me. Your brain invents some really stupid assumptions when you don't like yourself. Oh, he must think I'm such a loser while a man is asking you for your number and inviting you over to freaking cook for you. This is always me. Genuinely cannot tell when a guy is flirting with me unless he's either super creepy about it or very direct. Are you my spirit animal?